I need to warn you before you move to San Antonio, Texas, because a lot of families are relocating to San Antonio, Texas right now thinking they're getting this perfect, affordable Texas lifestyle. And then 6 months later, they're stressed, overwhelmed, shocked by the cost, exhausted from the driving, and quietly wondering if they made the wrong decision. And honestly, nobody talks about this enough, especially online. Most videos about moving to San Antonio, Texas only show you pretty neighborhoods, model homes, restaurants, coffee shops, and all the exciting parts of relocating to Texas. But very few people are telling you the things buyers end up finding out after they move here. So in this video, I'm going to give you the real truth about living in San Antonio, Texas. The good, the bad, the things nobody warns people about. Because if you're buying a home in San Antonio, Texas, or relocating to Texas from another state like California, Washington, Illinois, or New York, I genuinely think this is the video that could save you from making a huge mistake. And by the end of this video, you'll know who should move here, who probably should not, and what you absolutely need to know before making the move. And trust me, some of these things shock people. Hi, my name is Phyllis Domingo. I've lived in San Antonio for over 20 years, and as a local realtor, I've helped families relocate here from all over the country. And one thing I've noticed is this: the families who end up loving San Antonio are usually the ones who understood the reality before they moved here. Not just the marketing version, the real version. So if you're serious about moving to San Antonio, Texas, relocating to Texas, or buying a home in San Antonio, Texas, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I talk about the things most people won't tell you online. And if you need help figuring out where to live, what areas fit your lifestyle, or whether San Antonio is even the right move for your family, reach out anytime. Alright, let's get into it. So one of the biggest things I see with people relocating to Texas is they have this image in their head of what Texas is going to feel like. Especially people moving from California to Texas. They imagine cheaper living, huge houses, lower stress, freedom, slower pace, more space, and financially getting ahead again. And honestly, some of that is true. Compared to many states, buying a home in San Antonio, Texas can still feel more affordable up front. You can absolutely get newer homes, larger square footage, master plan communities, neighborhood amenities, and homes that would cost dramatically more in states like California. But what people don't realize is this: Texas gets expensive in different ways, and if you don't understand that before relocating to San Antonio, Texas, it can become a massive shock. A lot of people think moving to Texas automatically fixes financial stress, but lifestyle inflation happens fast here. You get tempted by bigger homes, bigger utility bills, longer commutes, more driving, higher insurance, more maintenance, and much higher property taxes in Texas. And suddenly, your monthly payment doesn't feel nearly as cheap as you expected. That's why I always tell people, don't just focus on the home price. Focus on the full lifestyle cost of living in San Antonio, Texas, because that's the part nobody online explains well enough. Let's talk about the thing that surprises almost every out-of-state buyer: property taxes in Texas. This is probably the #1 thing people underestimate when moving to San Antonio, Texas, because buyers look at home prices first, but they're not calculating tax rates, HOA fees, insurance, utility costs, MUD taxes, PID assessments, and suddenly the monthly payment feels way higher than expected. I've had buyers say, wait, this house is cheaper than California, so why is my payment still high? And the answer is usually property taxes in Texas, especially if you're looking at new construction homes in San Antonio, master plan communities, rapidly growing suburbs, areas with newer infrastructure, and some have significantly higher tax rates. And this is why I always tell people relocating to Texas: do not fall in love with the sales price only. Look at total monthly payment, estimated taxes, homeowners insurance, commute costs, utilities, future maintenance, because that changes everything. And honestly, this is where some families start regretting their move. Not because they hate San Antonio, but because the financial reality wasn't explained correctly. Now let's talk about another misconception. A lot of people online still describe San Antonio like it's unbelievably cheap. And compared to places like California or New York, yes, living in San Antonio, Texas can absolutely be more affordable. But prices have changed dramatically over the past few years. Groceries are more expensive, insurance is higher, utilities are higher, dining out costs more, everything feels more expensive than people expect. And one thing that surprises people moving to San Antonio is how much driving affects your budget. San Antonio is spread out, very spread out. You drive a lot here, which means more gas, more wear and tear, more time commuting, and depending on where you live and work, that can completely change your quality of life. That's why choosing the right San Antonio suburb matters so much, because two families can have completely different experiences living in San Antonio depending on commute, school district, lifestyle, proximity to work, and neighborhood setup. Honestly, I think this is one of the biggest mistakes people make when relocating to Texas. They focus almost entirely on the house itself, the granite countertops, the huge kitchen island, the beautiful master plan community, the resort-style pool, but they don't think deeply enough about the day-to-day lifestyle. For example, I've worked with families moving to San Antonio, Texas, who bought a beautiful home in a newer suburb because the price felt amazing compared to where they were coming from. And at first, they were excited, but after a few months, reality started hitting. Their commute was exhausting. The kids were in the car constantly. Everything they wanted to do was 30 to 45 minutes away, and the excitement of the big house started fading because their daily routine became stressful. And then on the flip side, I've had buyers spend a little more time to live closer to work or closer to lifestyle they wanted, and they ended up much happier overall. So when you're buying a home in San Antonio, Texas, do not just think about the house. Think about your life inside that location. That matters way more long term. Another thing people relocating to San Antonio don't always realize is how different areas feel culturally. Some areas feel suburban and family focused, more rural and quiet, more luxury oriented and fast growing, more established, more walkable, more commuter heavy, and that changes your experience significantly. So if you're relocating to Texas and trying to figure out where to live, I always recommend spending more time understanding the actual lifestyle differences between the areas, not looking at pictures online, because social media and listing photos can make everything look perfect. But living in San Antonio, Texas is about way more than aesthetics. It's about convenience, stress level, lifestyle flow, schools, traffic, community feel, and how your daily life functions. And honestly, that's the part that determines whether people love their move or regret it. We need to talk about the heat. Because people moving to Texas think they understand Texas heat, but until you actually live through a San Antonio summer, you really don't. And I'm not trying to scare you, but this is one of the biggest adjustments for out-of-state buyers, especially families relocating from California, Washington, Colorado, Illinois, New York. The heat lasts long and it changes your lifestyle. You don't casually go outside in the middle of the day during peak summer like people imagine. Your electric bill changes, your routine changes, your outdoor time changes, and then there's cedar fever. A lot of people moving to San Antonio, Texas never heard of it. Then winter hits, and suddenly they're miserable. Sinus issues, headaches, allergies, congestion. Some people adapt, some people struggle. Again, this doesn't mean don't move here. It means understand what living in San Antonio, Texas actually feels like. So this one surprises almost everybody. People assume San Antonio traffic won't feel bad because it's not Los Angeles or Houston. But what they don't realize is San Antonio infrastructure has struggled to keep up with growth, especially in North San Antonio, Bernie, Alamo Ranch, Helotes, Stone Oak, areas around Loop 1604 and I-35. And because so many people are relocating to Texas right now, construction is constant. Now, here's the thing. Traffic here is not necessarily big city impossible, but it's frustrating because everything is far apart. And a commute that looks okay on Google Maps can feel exhausting in real life, especially if you're doing it every day. That's why I always tell relocation buyers, do not choose a neighborhood based on aesthetics, because the prettiest neighborhood can become miserable if your commute drains you daily. And this is where people relocating to San Antonio get caught off guard. They'll visit for a weekend, they'll see beautiful communities, they'll drive around during non-rush hour traffic, and everything feels easy, but then real life starts. Morning school, traffic, construction, accidents, rush hour congestion, driving across town for activities, and suddenly they realize how much time they spend in the car. One thing I always try to explain to out-of-state buyers is this: San Antonio is not a small town anymore. It has grown fast. With rapid growth comes growing pains, especially in the suburbs. Some of the fastest growing areas around San Antonio have incredible new construction homes, amazing amenities, and newer schools. But they also have overloaded roads, infrastructure delays, crowded intersection, and constant expansion. And depending on your personality, that may or may not bother you, but some people don't mind driving. Other people absolutely hate it. That's why relocation is so personal. The best place to live in San Antonio is completely different depending on your lifestyle. For example, a remote worker may love living farther out in the quieter suburb with more space, but someone commuting daily into the medical center or downtown may become miserable with that exact same setup. And honestly, this is why I believe local guidance matters so much when buying a home in San Antonio, because YouTube videos and Google Maps cannot fully explain what your daily rhythms will feel like. And your daily rhythm matters more than almost anything. New construction homes in San Antonio, Texas are one of the biggest reasons people relocate here. And I understand why. The model homes are beautiful, the communities are attractive, the amenities look amazing, and compared to so many other states, you can still get newer homes for less money. But here's what people don't realize: not all builders are equal, and not all new construction communities age well. Some neighborhoods are growing too fast, which means schools become overcrowded, traffic worsens quickly, infrastructure struggles, resale competition increases. Buyers focus heavily on the model home, that they ignore location, future resale value, commute, tax rates, construction quality. I always tell buyers the model home is designed to make you feel emotional, but your actual lifestyle after closing is what matters. And this is another reason some families regret moving to Texas, because they bought the dream without fully understanding the day-to-day reality. This surprises people all the time. San Antonio feels very different when you actually live here. Everything is spread out, and depending on where you choose to live, your lifestyle can look completely different. Living in Boerne, Texas feels very different from downtown San Antonio, Alamo Ranch, Stone Oak, Helotes, Converse, Cibolo, New Braunfels. And that's why there is no best area universally. The best area depends on your work location, your lifestyle, your budget, your tolerance for commuting, whether you prioritize schools, whether you want newer homes, whether you want walkability. And this is where working with someone local matters, because Google and YouTube can only tell you so much. You need someone helping you figure out what daily life will actually feel like. Now, this part is important, because when families regret moving to San Antonio, Texas, it's usually not because they hate the city. It's because expectations didn't match reality, and some people regret choosing the wrong suburb, underestimating commute times, buying too far from work, buying based only on square footage, not understanding taxes, not understanding Texas summers, rushing into the decision emotionally, and sometimes people move to Texas expecting their life to instantly feel easier. But relocation is emotional. It's stressful. You're building routines, learning a new city, adjusting socially, creating a new lifestyle. That takes time. Some people underestimate that emotional adjustment completely. Now, after all of that, you're probably thinking, so should people even move here? Yes, for the right people, because there are so many things people love about living in San Antonio. The people, the culture, the food, the family atmosphere, the newer communities, the growth, the opportunities. And compared to many major cities, there are still opportunities to build a good life here, especially for families wanting more space, remote workers, military families, buyers priced out of other states, people wanting newer homes. The key is making a smart move, not an emotional rushed move. If you're thinking about moving to San Antonio, Texas, or relocating to Texas, I hope this video gave you a more honest perspective about what living here is really like, because San Antonio can absolutely be an amazing place to live, but only if you choose the right area, understand the lifestyle, and make a decision based on reality instead of just online hype. That's exactly why I created this channel, to help people avoid costly mistakes before relocating to San Antonio. So if you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe, because I'm going to continue making these videos about moving to San Antonio, Texas, living in San Antonio, Texas, San Antonio suburbs, relocating to Texas, new construction homes in San Antonio, and the honest truth most people won't tell you. And if you're serious about buying a home in San Antonio and want guidance on neighborhoods, commute times, schools, or which area fits your lifestyle best, reach out anytime. All my contact information is in the description below. Whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, I'd love to help you make the right move. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.